Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's a glorious Sunday. It's beautiful. You know, they said it was going to get really cold, like 29, and maybe it did, but it's, I don't know, like 9 o'clock or something, and it's already up to 48, I think it said. It's going to be a beautiful day. And I think tomorrow's going to be 70. The weather that I looked at the other day does not match the weather that I looked at today, okay? For the week, I mean. And I'm okay with it. Because the weather I'm seeing now is much warmer than what I was seeing the other day. I even had to look up and make sure I was on the Marietta page, because sometimes I look at other people's weather. Like I daydream about what's it like in Florida right now. I could totally live in Florida in the winter. I just can't handle their summers. I mean, summer's bad enough here. I could live on the beach in the summer. Okay, I'm not moving to the beach. You know, when I was working, I always said when I retired, I was going to move to Tybee Island, which is a island in Georgia, down below Savannah. So I used to have to go down there every year for a conference that was given by the GBI. We would go down on Monday and check into the hotel, check in at the conference center for our classes, and then we had the rest of Monday to play, so we would go to the beach. I mean, because, you know, if you're 20 minutes from the beach, it is actually against the law not to go. I may have made that up, but it should be against the law. Anyway, long story short, Trina and I went together one time. Well, we went together a few times, but this one time, I was like, well, let's go to Tybee. And she's like, okay. So we loaded up the truck and we moved to Beverly. And I set the GPS. Those darn GPSs will get you, you know. And I'm following the directions on the GPS. Now, I've been down there 100 times, but Savannah is very confusing if you've never been, because they've got all these one-way streets and all these little squares, you know, like little, I don't know, it's just very confusing. So to get out of that and onto the road to go to Tybee always confused me. But once I got on that road, I didn't need help. I typed in Tybee Island, but apparently when the list of choices came up, I tapped on, like, I don't know, Tybee Island Marina something? I don't know. We were all over the place. And Trina was like, are you sure? I don't see an ocean. I mean, it's the whole Atlantic Ocean that we're looking for. And yeah, we don't see an ocean. I finally figured out that it was taking us to this business, and yeah, I pulled back up the GPS and changed it. But if you've never been to Savannah, it is fun. And you do get to see a lot of sights in Savannah, let me tell you. A lot of sights. Speaking of a lot of sights, now, can I just say that I personally don't care how you want to identify. I don't. If you're an adult and you want to identify as a man and you were born a woman, I don't care. That's on you, okay? But don't get mad when somebody comes up behind you and you're built like me, okay? Your legs are about 2 feet long. You've got a woman's behind, okay? Because let's just go ahead and put it out there that a lot of men, they don't have the behind unless they work out a lot to strengthen the gluteus maximus, okay? And then your upper body isn't much different than your lower body. And then you've got a long ponytail hanging down the back. And you have on what would be considered perhaps a shirt style that is worn by women, okay? Down here in the South, we were trained to say, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. I typically reserve that when I'm speaking to maybe elders, but I just don't say it all the time like some people do. But this guy was so mad because somebody walked up behind him and said, excuse me, sir. I mean, ma'am. 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 Because he was built like a ma'am, okay? He was built like a ma'am. Not a man, but a ma'am. And had the long hair and the feminine looking shirt. And he turned around with a full beard and said, I'm a sir. Well, don't get mad. Get glad. Just, I mean, wear a sign. I'm a sir. I don't know. But you don't have to get so upset because it's hard to tell sometimes. Okay? And maybe we shouldn't use ma'am or sir, but this older generation, this is how we were taught to address people. So it's kind of hard to change that, you know? That's all I'm saying. As I say all the time, you don't have to get mad. Just educate people, you know? Just turn around and say, I'm a sir. I would appreciate you calling me a sir. Or, if you don't want to be called sir or ma'am, turn around and say, I prefer them and they. Although, that messes with my brain because that's not how I was taught in school to address people. You know what I'm saying? Them and they is a group. So it's all I'm saying is it's hard to change at this age what you've always called people. Help us out a little bit, okay? Sheesh, why is everybody so angry all the time? Have y'all noticed that? People are just angry. That makes me sad. Somebody said the other day something about a bumper sticker that said, stay silly. And I was like, you know what? I love that. That could be my motto if I ever get t-shirts. Stay silly. With a big cartoon drawing of my head with the peace sign. Wearing my fabulous earrings. Stay silly, my friends. Yeah, I think that would be so cool. Can anybody draw cartoon images? Huh? Oh, y'all can't answer me because I'm not live. See, there again, I'm being silly. Now, here's what I don't understand. The people who come to a video, they watched it, and they comment that they can't find anything funny about the video. Okay, look, I get everybody's humor is different, but there's a whole lot more people that found it funny. So what's your point of saying it's not funny? Do you think I'm gonna take it off the internet? No. No. Just keep scrolling. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get her thing off, and I'm gonna change shoes because I'm not wearing my furry Crocs to the store, but I gotta go get groceries because I'm out of everything. I am out of sugar for my sweet tea, and I am out of, well, I have a splash of coffee creamer left. That's not enough. It's become a national emergency that I've got to go to the grocery store. So I'll be back, okay? Okay. I'm going to add a trigger warning here for anyone who has issues with flashing lights, because when I was driving home, the sun was popping through the window. So if you can't watch it, you can just lay your phone down and you can just listen to it instead of watching it. I just want to let you know because I don't want you to get a headache or have a seizure because of my video. Okay? Okay. Good night. Well, let me tell you, I went to the Publix to get some groceries, and we won't even talk about the cost of the 3 little bags of groceries that I have, but I was out of just about everything, so Yeah. Anyway, I did not put on any perfume this morning. However, I did take a bath and, you know, put on some lotions, put the lotions on the skins, and wash my hair, so I'm all clean, right? Well, what I did do is I took some of my frankincense oil with a little castor oil and put it on my boo-boo, okay? Because I am still nursing the boo-boo. It is almost there. But it's still a little angry right there, okay? So, yeah, castor oil with frankincense oil. Well, ladies, let me tell you, apparently that is a very nice scent to men. Yes, apparently it's amping up the pheromones or something because of all the niceties in the Publix from the men this morning. And this one walks up to me and he's like, "Can you please tell me what kind of perfume you're wearing?" I was like, not wearing any. He said, "I smell it every time you pass me on the aisles." I said, I mean, the only thing that I could think that it could be, the only thing I think it could be is perhaps the frankincense oil, because it do be smelling strong. It was one little drop, but it do be smelling strong. And he was like, "It smells amazing." And then another man, I thought he was about to ask me to the barbecue, because he asked the guy, "Where's your barbecue sauce?" And I was like, "It's right here." And he was like, "Oh, that's what you're looking at." And I was like, "Well, not technically. I was looking for the ketchup, but here I stand in front of the barbecue sauce." He said, "Well, what kind of barbecue sauce do you like?" Well, you're being a bit nosy, ain't you? Goodness. I said, "Well, I like the Williamson Brothers Carolina sauce." I said, "Because it's got a little more mustardy, vinegary type wang to it." Wang Chung. And he was like, "Oh, I'm from South Carolina, so I think that's what I need to get." I said, "Well, you go ahead on, fella." He said, "Well, should I get two?" Well, I mean, I don't know. How many people are you cooking for? He said, "Well, maybe I'll get the Carolina and the regular and see which one I like the best." I said, "Yeah, I wouldn't buy two until you know for sure if you're going to like it." I said, "But I will say that my friend who is from South Carolina is the one that recommended it to me. And I do prefer it over the regular. The regular is good, but I do be liking the Carolina sauce." So, you know, I mean, many decades ago, my dad's family did come from South Carolina to Georgia. So I do have the taste of the Carolinas, if you will. Anyway, back to not knowing, you know, what we were talking about earlier. We had a person come to the window. This was years ago. And this person had on, it's funny how you remember stuff so many years later, but he was wearing extremely tight white jeans. Now, one thing my daddy will not wear is white pants, okay? Never, ever would he wear white pants. I don't know why, but anyway, this man was wearing skin-tight white jeans, and he had on a women's blouse, like a frilly women's blouse, obviously a woman's blouse. He was a very small-framed man. He had a bob, you remember? Or, I mean, people still wear them, you know, the all one-length bobs with the side sweep here going on. He had on makeup. He had on his Merce which is a man purse, a merce, okay? Well, the sergeant glances up and then goes back to writing, but says, "Can I help you, ma'am?" And this man got mad. He said, "I'm a sir." And he was like, "Okay, can I help you, sir?" I was like, now, come on now. I wish y'all could see how Penny's looking at me. I'll try to flip the camera around. Maybe she won't change. But I was like, come on now. If you're going to dress like that and look like that, don't get mad. Get glad. Oh, she walked off. Dadgummit. I talked too long. She had her head cocked to the side and she was giving... Let me back up a little bit. Now she's further back staring at me. I'm going to hit something if I keep backing. Hold on. Now she came back to the door. Now let me pull back up to further confuse her. But I'm only pulling up because I can't get in the back of my car if I'm backed up too far. She's like, "Stop messing with my emotions, Mama." That's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that I love you. Jesus loves you. I hope he's coming back soon because these people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, which will be tomorrow. Toodles, my noodles. Goodbye.